I'd like to welcome aboard Coach Mike McCarthy, of the Dallas Cowboys, brought to you every week by AA Best Bell Bonds. Coach, welcome back. I hope you're rested and refreshed and ready to kick off the second half of the season.
I sure am. How was the break for both of you guys?
It was terrible, Coach. People don't like us. They don't like us. They're like, oh, y'all don't have Coach on this Friday? I'm leaving. So we're glad to have you back. But you know what, Coach? I want to tell you something, man. You're going to disappoint a lot of children Sunday, because when y'all get ready to come on, the porch light and the candy goes away. Nobody, once the Cowboys are on, there will be no more Halloween candy passed out, Coach.
There's going to be a lot of baskets just sitting out there on the porch with the light on. I hope.
That was my greatest dream, man. An open basket full of Snickers.
Open basket time. Yep.
You can go ahead and take the bowl up. I'll clean you out. Your night's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, pulling TVs out there on the porch, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. You can just watch in the garage. Well, I know you know how this goes, Coach, but my thing is, you've been doing this a long time, and I just want to know how you handle it. When your training staff is like, hey, I don't know if a guy's ready to go, your player tells you, Coach, I think I can go. How do you handle it as a veteran coach in this league? Do you go with the training staff, or do you go with your player? And, of course, I'm speaking about Dak and the cap issue. If Dak tells you Sunday, Coach, I'm going to go, but the trainer says, I don't know. In your experience, how have you always handled that in your career?
Well, I mean, this is pretty much a norm. That goes on a lot during the course of the year. So, once again, these relationships, between player and training staff and strength staff and coaching staff. I mean, this is a big part of it. So, it's a constant conversation. I start every morning, visiting the training room, seeing how all the guys are doing, and then, about the course of the day before we get to practice, we have a full report, and then, I have a 4 p.m. GPS meeting that we go back through it. So, I mean, you can't tell you how much time is spent on, the health and the welfare of each and every player. So the level of communication is constant, is the point I'm making. So, and in Dak's particular situation, that's exactly how we'll do it. We'll see where he is today, and we have a plan for him to work today. And if he can get over that threshold, he'll be a day closer to playing.
Was he able to do, Wednesday through Friday? Well, today is Friday, but has he been able to take all the first team reps? Has he been able to go through his normal routine as far as y'all's practice week goes?
Well, his field work is all measured. So, what he was scheduled to do from a workload capacity focus, he definitely hit the target both Wednesday and Thursday. So, really seeing how he feels today and in the plan that they have for him today will determine how much he'll be able to do in tomorrow's practice.
In your experience, is the calf, the groin, hamstring, all three of those things pretty tricky? So you got to be delicate with it.
Oh yeah, I mean calf injuries, you got it's between the ankle and the knee joint, so there's no getting around it. So it's definitely something that takes a lot longer than I think the norm would expect. So yeah, and the biggest thing too is, hey, can he go out and play full speed? But more importantly, we have a ton of football in front of us, so we got to be smart about this.
Great point. Great point.
Head Coach Mike McCarthy, brought to you by AA Best Bell Bonds every week. Coach, as you deal with that, when do you have to when are you going to cut your deadline, your cutoff point to make the decision? I know it's going to be game time. That's what we're going to hear. What's your game time?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, is he still progressing towards the goal? And he's played a lot of football. Obviously he's still a young man, but he's a seasoned vet in my view. So, we can take this out as long as we need to. But, I'm hopeful we have some resolution by Saturday. But, once again,
by Saturday.
Before we get on the plane. But we don't need to. Maybe. I need one more day, and we could go, because we'll have a walkthrough up there in Minneapolis on Sunday morning, because we play a night game. So so we got a lot of work left that would be plenty for Dak to be ready to go.
He is. Makes some sense. Now you got a couple decisions working, and as you had Leo Collins return from suspension, not practicing with the ones. What's the decision process there? Is it the best 5 you got? Is it about working prior? Is it about being out of shape? What goes into the decision making above and beyond what I just asked?
Well, just the continuity and consistency we have going at the offensive line. I've always been a big proponent, as far as philosophy of the offensive line. You'd always would like to have your offensive line established as early as possible in training camp. A lot of times that's not the case because of competition and so forth. But the best lines play the most together, and they line up as 5 as a unit together. That part of the run blocking and protection responsibility is so fine skilled in the recognition. It isn't like you can make a call for every time something happens. So just the continuity that up there is so important. So
you like the continuity with Steele?
Really good What's that?
So Steele has come in by every measure and danced right in with the dance steps. It seems like the continuity has been pretty extraordinary. With that in mind, is there another position Lael could land?
Well, having LC back is great because we have in-season competition going on, and there's never a bad time to have competition, in the football environment. That's for sure. So, no, definitely, LC is back and had a nice day yesterday. Playing both left guard and right tackle. So, we have a very healthy situation in the offensive line room.
I'd like to congratulate you on the tap dance. That was well done.
Hey, Coach, now last season, I was told to ask you, last season, y'all played Minnesota, you brought out the sledgehammer, and I want to say it was a watermelon. What are you breaking out this year?
It's you have great memory. That was a fun night. So the guys enjoyed it, but we were trying to change it up. It was obviously a bumpy ride that we were on last year.
Right.
And we won the game. So I don't know.
You got to do it again then. Y'all are creatures of habit.
Well, I still got the sledgehammer right here, actually.
See?
Coach, you got a sledgehammer in your office?
I can tell you that, yeah.
Coach, you have a sledgehammer in your office?
Heck yeah, he does.
Oh, yeah, you got to.
You ever call a meeting and just lay it on the desk? Just sit it right in front of you and have somebody sit down and just start talking without even bringing up why there's a sledgehammer on your desk?
No, this is a positive workplace environment. That's right.
A positive reinforcement. It works in a lot of ways. He is head coach Mike McCarthy of the Dallas Cowboys, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds every week. You had a nice bye week, Coach. What did you and the other McCarthys do in a couple of days off? Go to Gaylord?
No, we actually just
he was working.
had a chance to take the girls to school and pick them up and get a lot of work done in between. So no, it was really good for me personally to catch up on a lot of work and get ahead on some things. So it was time well spent. It was a good break.
That's good. Hey, Coach, y'all played the Chargers. Fantastic offensively. Tampa Bay, the same. This week you get Dalvin Cook, Jefferson, and Thielen. Talk a little bit about what the Minnesota Vikings bring.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're playing very well on offense. I think Kurtz, has really comfortable in the new direction of the offense. Their perimeter group, just the guys you just rattled off. This is going to be a huge challenge for us, especially up there in the noise. This is a tough place to play. I don't think it gets enough notoriety for that. But Sunday night football, Halloween. So this is, these guys are very, very productive. They're very strict, disciplined system. With Kubiak, I like the direction he's taken since his father. Just with the wide outside zone and all
right
off of that. They're doing some more empty, more situational things. So very, very impressed with the video that they have in store. But the thing about it, you look at their games. I mean, they're scoring offense and scoring defense. There's probably 2 points between it. But my point is that every game they've been into has come down to the end. So we're anticipating to grind it out type game.
You brought up something. You brought up noise, and for people like myself, like when you're going to a place, because we hear it on television all the time, but I don't know exactly how it works. When you're going to a place that's noisy, is that something y'all work on? Is like the silent count? Like how does that work in the practice? Like during the practice week, when you're going to a place that you said is like extra loud like Minnesota?
Well, I mean, we do the best we can to create that environment. Now they've been on record for being as high as 120 decibels, and
wow,
that's a jet engine type noise level. So I think we've been only able to get our practice area up to about 90 decibels. So we're doing the best we can to create that that type of environment in practice, particularly when the offense is up.
Mike McCarthy joining us here on San Antonio Sports Star for his weekly appointment. We were talking about the Viking offense, and certainly Dalvin Cook plays a role there. But as I've watched them, they're not all that efficient running. When you look at that running game, what is the key to stopping Dalvin Cook? I'm not saying that's something you would do, but other teams that might want to stop him, what would they do?
Well, I mean, you look at their core runs. I mean, their offensive line is just starting to come together with some good continuity and everything. But they run the wide outside zone, and Dalvin's an outstanding stretch and one cut runner. That's when he's at his best. He will get downfield on you in a hurry. So the biggest thing is your gap integrity, and we got to gang tackle him, and because he does a good job running through arm tackles. But this is going to be extremely physical football game. You look at their run offense and their run defense, and you look at our run offense and our run defense. I mean, you're looking at two of the top football teams in the league, and both we're both both sides of the ball are ranked very high in the run. So this is going to be a tough game.
Mike McCarthy joining us here on San Antonio Sports Star, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. When you have this kind of week and you have a late game, does that affect your practice schedule at all? I know what Fridays are typically like for you guys, but is it the same as if you were kicking at noon?
Yes, our practice structure at the end of the week is always the same, because the end of the week to me is you got to build up in your launch into the competition. So Friday will be exactly the same. Saturday will be exactly the same. The only thing that's different is we'll have meetings and walkthroughs Sunday morning because it's a Sunday night game.
Appreciate your time, Coach. Mike McCarthy stopping by as he does. I know for a fact he's got some tacos and Big Red waiting on him. Jonathan made them special for you. Barbacoa on the way, Coach.
All right, guys.
Have a good luck, Coach.
Congratulations. We bid you good health, good travels. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
Mike McCarthy joining us, as he always does on a Friday before a game. Had a nice bye week off.